Moore.
Here.
Mr. Shaw.
Here.
Mr. Green. Mr. Watt.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum. Ms. Prater is present.
Thank you. We will stand and pledge.
We talk about it here, please. Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to come in tonight and work on this area, Lord, and be thankful to the Lord for what He has done for us. And just, we pray now that you help us to move forward, and we give you honor and praise for all of it. In Christ's name, amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. There is another meeting going on crime rate in this area. Can you hear me? No. Testing. We're going to try to get through this agenda as quickly as possible because there is another meeting going on in reference to crime in our community, and one of our council members is feeling under the weather, so I'm going to forego some of my announcements in an effort to expedite getting through the agenda quickly. At this time, I will comments as it relates to items on the agenda.
Hello.
Hello. State your name, address.
My name is Joanne Bradford. My address is 1320 South Washington Street, Bastrop, Louisiana. First of all, I want to thank the Honorable Mayor and Honorable Council members for allowing me to address you today. Actually, my husband, who is Bishop Charles Bradford, he's traveling back from Mississippi. He had a funeral, but he wanted his comments made, so he asked me to come and do it. Okay, and his comment was on, he had a couple questions about the appointment of the city attorney. The city attorney that will be appointed tonight, will he or she be on contract with the city and work on a case-by-case basis, or will he be a staff member in your administration? And if he's going to be on contract, what is the term of his contract and what will his salary be? But if he's going to be a staff attorney, will he have a 9 to 5, 5 days a week position here at City Hall? And if this attorney is not going to be a staff attorney, then he's requesting that the city council does not accept this appointment.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments?
Hello, my name is Stephanie Coleman. I live at 307 Straight Street, and I want to talk about Martin Luther King South. I go to church at the New Jerusalem No. 2 Missionary Baptist Church, where Ronnie L. Traylor is my pastor, and he have been on TV, and then along with Ms. Hill, to try to get that done, because we go to church there. We also go to the church all the time, so therefore it's wear and tear on our vehicles, because that road is so bad, and we really need that done. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Are there any other comments as it relates to items on the agenda? No other comments? Okay. At this time, I entertain a motion to appoint a city attorney. Ms. Tappan?
What is the status of our Attorney General resolution?
We're waiting to hear back from the Attorney General.
I think I can address that. I did draft the request as requested. We have a resolution that was not signed by the mayor, and we have an alternate resolution that was presented by the clerk that was signed that she certified. So I have you all signing the resolution in the chamber, and I have it wasn't signed by the city clerk nor the mayor, and then I had an alternate resolution that was submitted and it was certified by the clerk.
I submitted, Mr. Green,
I was just gonna ask why it haven't been signed.
in listening to the minutes, and going back, there was a misrepresentation of what occurred. So the clerk is duty bound to certify accurate information. It would subject her to malfeasance to certify something that didn't really occur that way.
So without a vote, without a resolution to get Attorney General opinion, you still saying that you have the say-so to appoint an interim attorney?
An interim appointment is just what it is, Mr. Green, an interim. I did, as mayor, send in a request for the Attorney General's opinion. I did hear back from them in one phone call, but I have not gotten a call back. They have assigned the resolution, not resolution, because the mayor didn't have to have a resolution. For this body, the body has to act as a group, cannot act as one person. So that's why the council has to operate as a group. But Ms. Goldman can only authenticate what's true and accurate.
So if we don't act together, from our seat, which is District D for me.
Yes, sir?
So if I say no to your appointment, at that moment, you can appoint an interim attorney. If that's the case, then how do you have our seat?
Okay. And that's why this is on the agenda again, to give the council. I brought an appointment before this body twice. And the first time, it was tabled. The second time, there was no motion. So I brought in an interim. An interim is one that the council does not vote on. But out of respect to the council, I put it on the agenda for you to vote on.
But also out of respect for the council, we're gonna have an interim attorney sitting there.
Okay.
I feel like our resolution should have been sent in to the Attorney General. If we have to change some of the lingo, I think we should do that, but we do have a signed resolution that needs action on.
I have the letter to go to the Attorney General to request just what you all asked for, and I did, I'm sorry. Madam, Ms. Tappan, I said I have the letter requesting the AG opinion as you all requested. I did mention in the AG's opinion, letter request that we had a resolution that was not certified by the clerk, but rather an alternate resolution was certified by the clerk. But that wasn't a resolution that you all adopted here before the body.
It was sent in.
No, I didn't send it in because we're here today,
Yeah.
and maybe it may be a moot issue after number 3. You follow me? On the agenda, it may not have to go in, but ultimately what I'm asking you all today is, I mean, I have it, it's prepared to go. If you want me to send it without the mayor's signature, I'll send it without the mayor's signature. It's just that it gives a, and you always talk about optics. It's just a bad optic when an action is taken by the board of alderpersons. It's signed as every other resolution is signed. It's not signed in the chamber while it's occurring by the mayor. It's not certified in the chamber by the clerk as every other resolution that goes before this body. So I can submit it just the way it is. I've already made the representation that it was not signed and that an alternate resolution with just one word changed in the alternate resolution with the word interim, you know, and I'm attaching it anyway, so they're gonna see it, you know, unless you all direct me not to send it that way. But I mean, it's a pretty clear question. The AG has already addressed this issue to this city council before, when the late Marvin Moore requested that very same question to the Attorney General. So that opinion has already been given to this city council. It shouldn't take them very long to answer the question, but that's where you all are.
We as a body would like to send in as requested.
Let me ask you, would it be prudent that we go in and put this on the table until we work out these little details that turned out to be big details?
Okay. We have, Ms. Tappan made her statement. Mr. Shaw, you made your statement. I asked for a motion. What is the motion? On item number 3. Is there a motion? Then we'll go on to item number 4. Appoint civil service board member. We appointed 2 last month, and Ms. Miller sent us a letter stating that due to unforeseen circumstances that she was declining. Therefore, I am offering as an appointment Coach Thaxton. You're here with us. Would you stand up? We have to have 2 more. We have one that is filled. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Discussions? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome aboard. Did you want to say something real quickly? We want to get through this as soon as possible. Coach Thaxton.
I'm glad to serve. I can serve. I'm glad to do it.
Yes, sir. We always appreciate our citizens who are willing to serve in a non-paid capacity. If you'll get with Ms. Holmes, she will get you sworn in. You have to take your oath, but not right now. All right, announcements. I said I was going to just forego that because we're trying to get, at least I'm trying, and any council member who is willing to go to St. Mary's Church, that's where it is, Mr. Locke.
Yes.
And they actually are starting at the same time, so they told me they would put me towards it. Sir?
February the 18th, the Black History Parade will take place at 3 o'clock. It will start at the Bastrop High School, go all the way down Marvin, make a right on West Madison, go to Dotson Park.
Okay, thank you for that announcement, Mr. Green. I had some others about broadband and all that, but I don't want to consume the time with that. We do have a senior citizen who transitioned this world. Her name is Miss Louise Smith, and she was the oldest citizen in this state. And the family asked for a memorial resolution, of which I have submitted to them to be read at her service. So our hearts go out to the family. This is Black History Month, Valentine, Mardi Gras, parades, and all the bells and whistles. I'm going to take just a few minutes in recognition of Black history to do a celebration. Last year, I did postings on people that I thought about, and this year I asked if you, as citizens, would think about somebody in your family or friends and in your circle that was a first. And as I recall in my inauguration speech, I said everybody's name will not be archived in the annals of history, but we still all have an obligation to serve our community. So at this time, I want to give 3 recognitions. first one is to Gwen Davenport. Is Ms. Davenport here? Can you all hear me? Black history is about celebration of all our history in this community, celebration of our growth. And when you were the very first secretary to enter this building back many years ago, and you left as administrative secretary, and I think that in itself was an accomplishment for you, and you've gone on to have a very lucrative career, but in recognition of your service, I want to present you with this plaque to honor you as the very first. Wait just a minute. You want to just say something, please?
I never thought I'd have this opportunity, but God is good. When I first came in 1975, it was in the old City Hall building, and I got to watch it be torn down, and then this one to be rebuilt, and it was an honor to be a part of that. And today, it paid off. Thank y'all.
The next is a postulus, Mr. Willie McKee. Mr. Willie McKee, any of your family? I wish to present this posthumous plaque in memory of Willie McKee. Willie served under Mayor Bond, Mayor Hawkins, and under me. Did I miss anybody? Was it another mayor that he served under?
I think that's it.
It was the three administrations, and he was the first black firefighter. He was the first fire prevention chief. He was the first chief. He served in public works. He served in the clerk's office. Funny story about Chief McKee, and he told this, and Mayor Bond and I maintained a good relationship when I took office, that Willie had been fired several times by Mayor Bond. So after being fired so many times, he decided he would go fishing. And Mayor Bond saw him pulling that boat through town. And he said, "What?" And he got on the phone and called your mother and said, "Tell Willie McKee he needs to come on back to work." But we certainly appreciate the service of your daddy, and it means a lot. It's blazing a trail in this community. And I asked Chief Williams if he would stand with me, because there's a fraternity with the fire department.
Thank you.
Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. The next plaque, I want to talk about just a little bit, since I know some stories of my own to say about this one. And not that I didn't know any stories about Chief McKee, because he was one of my husband's best friends. But I had the pleasure some years ago, I believe it was in 2010, that this gentleman attempted to save a child's life. And he did everything that he could do for
within his power until the EMT folks arrived. Then another event is he waded in water up to here to save a lady from drowning, right down at what they call the dry dock. Chief Reed, if you will come, and Captain, forgive me, if you will come. When I speak about the annals of history, and history will know that Carl Gibbons was appointed the first black chief in the city of Bastrop. And I want to express my appreciation for your service and that innate ability that you have in you to just shift into gear. Yes, sir. Yes, I do know that there's a brotherhood, sisterhood that exists in the police department because you have to have each other's back. Did you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. I'd just like to personally thank you for all your efforts and everything that you personally done for me. I'd like to thank Chief Reed, all the officers, Sergeant McKinney. I work with him every day. He's a wonderful officer. And I think, I just wish you guys the best. And just keep striving to make Bastrop better. And y'all just remember, you can agree to disagree. But when it all comes down to it, it should be able to be done in a manner that Bastrop is put first. And progress and the growth of Bastrop should be the main objective. Thank y'all, and I love Bastrop.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward and go on to, item number 6. Oh, were there any district announcements? Okay.
No district announcement, but Pastor Brad Gills has recently opened up a homeless and addiction center for men. Anybody struggling with addiction or homeless, they will bring you in, help you get your life together, give you some spiritual direction, as well as helping you find a job and just helping you get back on the right track. So we're real happy about this, and it's going to be in our community.
Okay, what's her name, Ms. Tappan?
It's called Blood Bought Redemption Center.
And who is that?
Pastor Brad Gills.
Where is it located?
I don't know exactly where it's located.
It used to be on Daisy Street, if I'm,
Okay.
I don't know, they had acquired that church. Okay.
But you can reach him by inbox on Facebook, he said.
Thank you for that announcement. Okay, I'm looking at my sheet, Ms. Goldman, I have a number 7, but there's nothing there.
No, it's not, because you need the public comments up front.
Okay. All right. Okay, item number 6. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve previous minutes, regular meeting January 12, 2023.
May I make a move, we proceed with that?
Properly moved
Second.
and second. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. Item number 8, consideration of and action on reports of committees appointed of the governing body. Okay, we have a report that's coming a little later, and we're gonna try to get to the crime meeting, but we'll go on to item number 8, unless there is something on the panel here someone wishes to share. Chiefs? Okay. All right, item number 9, reports of city officials or employees required by law. Okay, that's item number 9. That's, okay. I think item number 9 is gonna be covered a little further down, as we talked about earlier, Ms. Goldman.
No, and we need to make a motion, it's the bills and claims.
Okay, all right.
I'll make a motion that we address that and we get it approved.
Okay,
Second.
properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, action on ordinance and resolution introduced at previous meeting. A, an ordinance 23-4268, an ordinance to authorize an act of sale by the city of Bastrop to sell adjudicated property described as parcel 02504401 0002 lot 2 of block 1, Todd Street subdivision, plot 1P1 in accordance with LARS 47 at 2202, and to authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents to address matters related thereto.
Mayor, Council, this ordinance was introduced last month, adjudicated property. We did have a bidder, and the bidder was to, the property was actually 913 Collier's Lane in Bastrop, and the bid was $2,179.24, and it was for Lakeisha German. So, it's up for a motion if y'all like to sell it.
Okay, we have heard Mr. Goldman, I've read that ordinance at this time. Excuse me, I will entertain a motion on ordinance 23-4268.
I make a motion.
Properly moved and second. Are there any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, other unfinished business. Ms. Goldman, do we have any other unfinished business?
I mean,
Item 12, introduction of permitted action on proposed ordinance and resolution. A resolution 23-2027, a resolution informing the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of actions taken to maintain requirements for a Louisiana water discharge permit, main treatment plant. Brad Alexander. Is Brad here? Sandra? Let's move, would you move the microphone back to behind?
Okay.
Move it behind the bar.
Okay, this is for the main treatment plant, it's an annual, resolution that's done every year, telling DEQ exactly what the general works that we're gonna do for each plant.
Okay. Anything that you want to expound on, Sandra?
No, basically, it's just the basic points, y'all have the resolution sheet, ongoing points and repairs by Veolia, bi-monthly cleaning of lines, line replacement, continue operations of each plant.
Okay. All right, at this time, you heard the presentation, I'll entertain a motion on ordinance, a resolution, 23-2027 as read.
May I make that motion?
Second.
Properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that takes us to item B, resolution 20-2028, a resolution informing the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of actions taken to maintain permit requirements for Louisiana discharge, permit, LWDPS. West Pond Treatment Plant.
It's the same thing on this, just the annual resolution for the continuing repairs of Laviola for the ponds and sewer lines, maintenance, anything else that needs to be done for the year.
Okay. I will entertain a motion on resolution 23-2028.
So moved.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. Are there any questions? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that takes us to item 13, other new business. Ms. Cindy Haynes, City Audit, 2021 fiscal year.
Does she have, do you have the, is this it? Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. Okay, as the mayor stated, this is for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2021. The city, adopted a budget of approximately 13 million. And the beginning, graph that we're gonna look at shows the general fund revenues. This is strictly the activities I'm gonna show here of the general fund. It doesn't have anything to do with the sewer or capital projects or anything like that. And y'all probably can't see that, but, of the general fund revenues, we'll see that the majority comes from, taxes. And then the next in line would be, I barely can see it myself, intergovernmental. The blue portion is approximately 69% of our incomes comes from taxes. That compared to last year, it was 72%. So the revenue sources are remaining about the same from one year to the next. And that's what's shown here is a breakdown of the percentage of the revenue sources. On the next one, we show a breakdown of the expenditures. The expenditures were 12 million, whereas the revenues were 13 million. So there was a slight gain in fund balance. Of the expenditures, we will see, well, I'm talking about this is it says expenditures, but this is really revenue, Mr. Floyd. But anyway, the revenue sources here will show our sales tax, ad valorem taxes, and gross receipts tax. The majority of our taxes revenue comes from sales tax. So, and that has maintained itself over the years, and that's really good with the closing of the mill several years ago, but the city has relatively, at one time, about the time the mill closed, the city was operating on a $10 million budget. So over the course of several years, we've been able, and also with the influx of the federal money, that has increased the revenue sources also. Okay, this one is the expenditures. The expenditures are 12 million. Of the expenditures, the majority are the three areas are general, police, and fire. General is just the day in, day out operations of the city of Bastrop, the administrative, anything that doesn't fall into public works or fire, police, or whatever, that's just kind of a catch-all category. And those two have remained the same basically over the years, the percentage and the expenditures. Okay, the next one shows the actual expenditures in comparison to the budgeted, and you will see that the expenditures were $300,000 less than budgeted. So each department has done a very good job staying within their budget limits, and next year's budget looks about the same. It has for 6/30/22 is about the same. Okay, the last one we have, just as a comparison of the prior 3 years, and you'll see that everything stays just about the same except the general fund. And a lot of that is because of the influx of the federal revenue, the ARPA funds, that, the city will be using in the next several years, for various projects. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Okay, the full audit report can be gotten from Ms. Sandra, or it can be, accessed on the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's website once they release it. So, if anybody has any questions after they review that, I'll be glad to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Okay, item discussion, action. D is for LCD BG Louisiana Outdoors Program Parks and Recreation Improvement. Chad Fisher.
I'm Chad Fisher, and I work with Volker, the city engineer. I'm really just here to answer your questions on the bid. So there was a question on about what could be done at the parks. Mostly it's for fitness, picnic areas, playgrounds, bathroom facilities, rehabs. Just a few things. There was a question of like why couldn't certain stuff. So the ineligible cost, you couldn't demolition any property that had anything to do with COVID. You couldn't purchase equipment that could be movable. Everything has to stay in place. Indoor facilities are ineligible except for restrooms. So all restrooms are being updated, I believe, in the 3 major parks. Fields and facilities for organized sports is ineligible. That would include stands, new turf, new anything, new fencing, scoreboards, and lighting. We got asked that quite a bit when we first started, and that this is a finalized list. And also costs that have or will be paid by another source. So you cannot get reimbursed. It would be, so you're just adding money to it. So, you got any questions for me on that part of it? Mr. Wilhite has y'all's bid tab to let you know how much stuff and what's being done in each park.
The bleachers don't fall under this grant?
Anything that has to do with organized sports. So like, yeah, you have movable bleachers in some areas. So like, just say when we have city, like Pee Wee football, those are movable. They can go to another park. Even though you have some immobile ones, those are dealing with the fields. It has something to do while you're sitting and enjoying that thing. I'm sure there's other grants in that, but this is kind of just a block grant, so it can only be done on generalized stuff.
Playground equipment? What about playground equipment?
I think every park got playground equipment. I believe maybe except one, which is not really, it's more like a sitting area. Like you'll have new playground equipment at Carter, Johnson, East Madison. So all of them will have some type of structure out there. And when we talk about structure, it's one of those, a bigger structure that 20 to 30 kids can play on with slides and monkey bars and all that kind of thing. So.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Wilhite? Were there any other questions
I just have one question, and this is on the agenda.
Ms. Tabb?
13G, does that have anything to do with what these guys are talking about?
Well, we'll find out when we get to that item.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering if they need to be all together.
No.
Okay.
No.
The Love Louisiana Outdoor
Wait just a minute, Mr. Wilhite. Was it something you wanted
No, I
to
thought
add?
you were going to ask me another question.
Okay, were there any other questions? We are, to answer your question, Mr. Green, we are looking for funding to buy bleachers. We have reached out to a business to support that, as we reached out to Entergy that bought the scoreboard. So we're looking for other avenues. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Wilhite.
The Love Louisiana Outdoor Grant awarded $400,000 to the city of Bastrop to upgrade different parks. The bid came in at $596,711.47, which is $196,711.47 over the amount that was granted. The description of work for the city of Bastrop Park and Recreation Improvement. Dotson Park will receive a commercial playground, equipment set, park lighting, an electric system, and restroom rehabilitation. Carter Park will receive commercial playground equipment, restroom number 1 rehabilitation, restroom number 2 rehabilitation, picnic tables with concrete pad, and replace the main panel breaker and electric bill. Martin Luther King Park, which is Forest Park, will receive a commercial playground equipment set, park lighting, and electric system. Smith Wilson Park will receive a commercial playground equipment set, picnic table with concrete pads, park lighting, and electric system. Clark Lee Park will receive picnic tables with concrete pad. Gladney Park will receive picnic table with concrete pad. Welch Park will receive commercial playground equipment set. Ralph George Park will receive commercial playground equipment set. Griffin Park, which is Jackson Park, will receive commercial playground equipment set.
Mr. Will, hi,
Mr. Shaw?
excuse me. Can we talked earlier, talked about getting, the street lights back up the park.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how that, when can we start something like that? I know we've had a lot of problems, you know, with where they're at, but anyway.
When we first did our street light project, we went around to found every street light and wrote down the numbers that was on the pole. Energy has switched over to a digital system now, which the numbers on the pole doesn't even matter anymore. So what we're doing now, we're wrapping orange tape around the lights that are out as a marker.
Mr. White, under this grant, do it allow you to place like fences at the park? The reason I'm asking because, I'm not sure everybody been to Jackson Park, but it's wide open when you come from out the back. So, do that fall under the grant? It's because it's not movable.
I will go back and we'll talk, but as part of this bid, this is what was put in for the bid, so it would be over and above what's on this. There was no other fence, Jackson is at the end of Henry Street.
Right.
Am I correct? And that's behind the basketball courts, we're talking about on the backside, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll find out from Chris Patrick, but right now, I don't think it is, but we will check, but as it's bid is how the contractor is supposed to do it unless the city asked for a change order or whatnot.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and the RFP was quite specific on what we could do with those funds, so we followed the guidelines of what we could do, and a fence was not in there. And then letting it out for bids again, the price may go up. We're already almost $200,000 over.
I understand maybe from future reference, just be considerate.
And we'll always look for something to upgrade our parks. In fact, I'm going to a meeting, and your point is well taken, but a lot of grants come with specific things that you can do, and a fence may be one of those things that may be considered something maintenance that the city has to do, but we'll certainly look. Okay, were there any other questions?
No question. I got a call at the end of last week commending our city crew on the lighting on Marable. They were saying how well lit it is now and how much safer they feel driving down Marable. So kudos to you there too.
Okay, thank you. They always love to hear compliments. Is Reverend Duvall here? And since we're talking about outdoor parks and recreation, Reverend Duvall is supervisor. Is Mr. Peoples here? Okay. Let's get an update from you. How you all doing?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Public Works Department for outstanding job they have been doing, being understaffed. really stepped up to the call.
Thank you.
How you all doing? I am Reverend Jesse Duvall. I've been here all my life, and I want to let everyone know that Park and Rec just ain't for park. Park and Rec over cemetery, over a whole lot of things. People think we just do park work, but we do a whole lot of things. With all the rain been going on around here, graves have been sinking. We've been filling in cemeteries at the grave. We've been cutting trees. If you go to the Price Cemetery in these different places, you'll see where we done cut trees and stuff from off the roads that are falling. We have been doing a lot of extra work, teaming up with Public Work, cutting. If you go down all the streets, we done cut all the bereaved trees and limbs hanging all over the road. You can see down the streets now. Not only that, as you know, we're getting ready for ball season. Stop signs, we're replacing stop signs. We're doing all we can to make Bastrop better. But it seems like it's not enough, the way I look at it. So we know ball season is coming up. We know that we do our best. We can't make miracles. Ever since William May them been out of this ballpark, Carter Park, our parks hadn't been what they need to be. Okay, so our job is, what we understand, and I'm proud of the guys that work with me, we do a good job in making sure that all the parks are maintained. Fields, when it's time for play ball, we try to get them ready. So as the new year come in, we start turning over ground because the fields are unsafe to play on. And as we start doing that, the rain season, you all know it's been raining everywhere. So we hadn't been able to get back on the fields to do what we need to do to get them level and safe for the kids to play on. So this is where we at right now. In the ballparks, replacing some woods that's deteriorating. We're cutting down trees. If you go to the end of the park, you'll see major trees cut down that we're trying to get and make it safe. But we are understaffed as well, and I tell you, with the guys we got, we doing the best job we know how. We can't compete with the other parks because they are better, but we're doing the best with what we got to keep our parks playable for our kids. And I go on record and say this here, when ball season start, get ready to start, the parks will be ready to play ball. We got, you heard the young man them say that they don't have to put the bleachers in anything. We got bleachers out there that's breaking off and falling apart. We in the progress now of trying to get stuff welded and get them safe for people can sit down on the bleachers out there. It's a whole lot that Park and Rec do that a lot of you all may not recognize, and you just looking on the outside. But you need to walk in the 4 or 5 guys I got feet and see what we go through every day. But it ain't good enough. They played ball all last year. Through rain, we put sand, we did everything we could. They played. They'll play ball again this year. But if we want to improve our parks, we got to find a way, our fields, find a way to put the money back into our ball fields. And it may be through construction, it may be through other things, but we got to find a way to put the money back where we can get our ball fields back to where they need to be. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Mr. People?
How y'all doing today? Terry Peoples. Like Mr. Boss say, I've been in Bastrop all my life too, and I'm gonna say this here, I love my city. Sometimes I go out and I don't even be able to get called out when it rains. I be out there. A lot of people don't see me, a lot of time I don't be on the clock. But anyway, Mr. Boss said most of everything, but I'm gonna say this here. This is what we've been doing, because we've been getting 2 or 3 days of rain coming down. It ain't about 2 or 3 people out there, you know? And we're cleaning the ditches out in the neighborhoods. We're trying something different because we can't dig all the ditches out because we have to get them dotted. So what we decide to do, we go to the neighborhoods, we clean the debris out, and we clean the covers out. And sometimes we call on the sewer department to come and use the jetter to blow the covers out. And that makes the rain drain. But sometimes when you get 2 to 3 inches of rain, less than an hour and a half, ain't nothing we can do about that. And a lot of people think it's us, but No, it's not us, because we be out there in the rain jackets and we be getting it. And what we do, we'll send a crew out, and we'll let that crew see where it's flooded at, and that's what we'll go focus on. We'll focus on that right there, and we'll try to dig those ditches out. If possible, sometime when you dig the ditches out, the water goes up under the cover, and then that's when the ground, it breaks the ground up. So, we doing what we can. I mean, tonight, I don't even know what else to say. All I know is I love my city. And Mr. Ball, you said everything, especially about the parks for the kids. Everybody complain about everything, but you know what? Stop. Give us a concession stand back. That's what we need, so we can spend that money on the field. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm gonna get down. Y'all have a good night.
Just a minute, Mr. Green.
Hey, quick question,
Go ahead, Mr. Green.
the parking rate in the public works department is understaffed. What would it take to get them back up to staff?
You know what it'll take, Mr. Green? Money. A lot of people.
So what it is it's not in the budget to hire more people?
A lot of guys come in, they want more, because they say they can go to Burger King and make more. So, that's just the way it is, but we do it the best we can. That's what it is, basically, going out.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for that update. I make myself a note that we need to, I'll entertain a motion on bid for the DBG Louisiana Outdoor Program. That's the one that Chad gave the update on. We opened the bids, and he indicated that it exceeded $400,000. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, for us to accept, is that right?
Yes.
LCDBG Louisiana Outdoor Program, bids.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, properly moved. Is that a second? We had
Yes, sir, you read off the video, yes, sir.
we had the other discussion, it's probably what threw you off. Okay.
We have a motion by Mr. Moore and a second by Mr. Shaw.
This is to pay the additional $100,000.
Yes, sir, we knew it was gonna be, the grant was $400,000, and we knew we was gonna have to put a match on there. So we'll be able to use our American Rescue money to finish that.
We had a motion by Ms. Tappan, a second by Mr. Shaw, a question by Mr. Locke, and the American Rescue money, we try to use it for long-term tickets and be wise in expenditures. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to item C, discussion action, grant permission to Washita Chapter of Quail Forever to have one-day permit for alcohol on premises of the Visitor Center at 124 North Washington on February 17th. Chief Reed.
You all probably wondering why they need a permit just for that one day. Mr. Breedlove contacted me and he advised that they were, the alcohol that they would have is gonna be being donated to them from a distributor. In order for them to receive the donation, they would have to have a liquor license. So they need a temporary license to be granted to them for that day. Everyone that attends there will be of age. There'll be no minors. Everything will be in order. That's why they need the license, so that they can get the donation of the liquor from the company.
Okay, thank you, Chief Reed. You found everything to be in order?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion on granting this permission for Quail Forever to have a one-day permit for alcohol on premises at the Visitor Center.
Mayor, make a motion to accept that day.
Yes, sir. Properly moved.
Second.
And second, are there any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, Vicky Carpenter, beautification project update from Keith Morehouse. Beautiful. Ms. Hutchinson, you are here in Ms. Carpenter's stead, if you will state your name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Latito Hutchinson. My address is 307 Louise Street, Bastrop, Louisiana, 71220. All right, and thank you so much for having us. Again, my name is Ms. Hutchinson. I'm here on behalf of Keep Morehouse Beautiful, and we just want to give an update. Ms. Orr, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. We just wanted to give an update as far as the revitalization, as we're part of the revitalization committee that the city has, and Keep Morehouse Beautiful has been doing work in the community for many, many years. So we wanted to give you a look back on 2022 and our plan for 2023. I also just want to take a quick moment to say we really appreciate the work of the Public Works Department and Parks and Recreation and all that you're doing. So we really appreciate it. So looking back at 2022, and I won't hold you long with this. We just have 5 points that we wanted to cover. So some of our accomplishments when it comes to our main corridor. Most of you know that Keep Morehouse Beautiful's focus is on the main corridors. So like East and West Madison, Washington, Marable, because that's where our high school is, things like that. The reason we do that is because that's where visitors, they come in and they come out. We want, when they drive through our city, we want to have a good face, right? And when developers drive through our city, site selectors, and they're thinking about coming to Bastrop, those are the roads they typically travel on. So we try to help, to encourage our city to have our main corridors fixed up. In 2022, we were able to help demolish 2 structures on our main corridor. So a former barbecue business on West Madison, and through a partnership with Morehouse Economic Development Committee, MEDCO, we helped to demolish Turner's Juntiques, which was right beside Super One. And so that will now be a bank in that location. In 2023, we plan to help demolish 2 additional structures on the main corridors. And so just so you know, if you ever need help getting a building demolished, you can also always reach out to Keep Morehouse Beautiful, and we can see if we can help support that financially with getting that building demolished. Our Thumbs Up Award. Many of you may know Keep Morehouse Beautiful gives a Thumbs Up Award. That award is to encourage homes, businesses on the main corridors to keep up their properties. And so we give awards for improvements. In 2022, we primarily did it for improvements. And so we did not give very many or any at all Thumbs Up awards. So we're changing our approach for 2023. And now it won't just be improvements, it'll also be any business or homeowner that maintains a beautiful yard, garden, that kind of thing. And so be on the lookout for Thumbs Up awards for Keep Morehouse Beautiful. And again, if you have a home that is just gorgeous, you can reach out to us and nominate your own home or business or neighbors or anybody else, and we would love to spotlight them. Thirdly, the Christmas and Mardi Gras decorations. So if you drive through the courthouse square and you're wondering who does that, that is all Keep Morehouse Beautiful. Yes. In 2022, we added string lights to the trees on the courthouse square. We added green lighted Christmas trees. We moved the nutcrackers to the gateway signs. So your gateway signs are the Bastrop signs that are right in front of Morehouse Elementary School and right in front of Subway. So we help support those as well. When it comes to the flowers and things around that, sometimes we get sponsors to help us do that. But the nutcrackers, we move those to those gateway signs. We also replace string light poles, replace the string light pole lights around the courthouse. And for 2023, we want more lights, more glitz, more glam, more beautiful Bastrop. So we are obtaining a portable storage building so that we can hold all of those decorations. We plan to create more community Christmas spirit and pride by adding that lighting, organizing a merchant decorating contest, putting red ribbon on the courthouse columns, and purchasing a Merry Christmas banner, and getting our Cocoa and Carols started back. That was something we did years ago, and we want to get that going again. Fourthly, our community cleanups. In 2022, We conducted a community cleanup on October 15th. Mayor Betty drove around with me, and she was she drove around to all the sites. It was a citywide cleanup. We had about 80 volunteers, and we had 2 truckloads of trash. We had children all the way from ages 4 and 5 to, you know, higher up in the ages come out to help us. We had a really good turnout, a lot of students, and so we did it 2 years in a row. This is our 3rd year. This time we're going for 2. So Love the Boot Week, we want to do it that Saturday on Earth Day on April 15th, and then we want to come back in the fall this year. So 1 cleanup for last year, and the year before. Our goal is to have 2 cleanups in 2023. With those, we also partnered with the police jury to provide free dumpster day, and we recorded 678 tons of waste removed from that free dumpster day. We also partnered with Louisiana Delta Community College for a day of service to make repairs at Carter Park. So we know that sometimes the city may not have grant funds, it may be a lot of red tape to get simple things done. And so with one call to Louisiana Delta Community College, the welding class came out and replaced every whitened board on the benches at the playground at Carter Park. And so we hope to have more partnerships like that where we can come in and fill the gap. Last but not least, our Keep Morehouse Beautiful watchdogs. If you ladies would raise your hand or stand up, I want you all to see who the watchdogs are.
Stand up, ladies. Stand up.
That's what you think of as watchdogs, right? I'm so proud to be in this group of Keep Morehouse Beautiful members, our watchdogs. Our accomplishments for 2022, we all regularly attend the city council meetings, police jury, planning and zoning, environmental court. If it's happening, we try to be there. We also create awareness for environmental issues. In 2023, we plan to keep that going. We're growing our Keep Morehouse Beautiful membership and just increasing our partnerships, and we look forward to all the great work that the city will do in our parks and recs and on our street lights. We have a campaign going on right now to watch out for street lights, you know. And so watch out for lights out, watch out for the lights out. And it's just our way of partnering with the city to get more lights on and improve the safety in Bastrop. So again, I thank you for having us, and more to come on Keep Morehouse Beautiful.
When and where our meetings join us.
Yes, so you can always join us. Our meetings are public meetings. We meet the first Monday of every month at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. at the parish house. I don't know.
Christ Episcopal Church.
Christ Episcopal Church. So when you go there at 9 o'clock and you see those cars, that's us in there. Just walk in. You don't have to ask. You don't have to schedule. You can just come and join our meeting. And it is a diverse group, younger, older. We're a diverse group. So everyone is welcome, male, female, everybody is welcome. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know about the
Wait
lights
just a
that
minute.
are hanging.
Well, Miss Hendricks, are you with the Keep Morehouse?
Yes, I am. It is Keep Morehouse Beautiful. Do I just want to
You need to come to the microphone, state your name and your address, please.
I'm Cindy Hendricks. I'm with Keep Morehouse Beautiful. I just wanted y'all to know, because there's not a lot of advertisement a lot of times when people donate things. And all the lights that you see hanging from the trees, that actually came from LeGrand, the nursing home. They donated all the lights, they put them up, and they're the ones that's going to take them down and redo them when we need them. So I just want to kind of put that in there for them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The one thing that Ms. Hutchison did not say to you on that day that I rode with her, that I thought we were gonna go airborne any minute as she was zipping around town and talking, and that was the ride of my life, but it was well worth it. Thank you, Keep Morehouse Beautiful, for all that you do to support the city of Bastrop, to support Morehouse Parish, and support this community. Thank you for your presentation. We will go to item E, on Jackson Street.
Hello, my name is April Hill and I reside in 1309 Martin Luther King South. First of all, I would like to thank you all for letting me speak with you all. My concern for coming to this meeting is Martin Luther King South. First of all, I would like to acknowledge Mayor Honor. She sent out James Green to speak with me concerning the roads, and he made my day because about a week after I spoke with him, slow children at play sign and a speed limit sign was put up. My kids, they do not play in the road. My son, he play basketball through the city. And I parked my vehicle at the end of my driveway to make sure that he didn't run out in the road, then the vehicle didn't come in. But that ball went around my vehicle a couple of times. And I feel like because that sign was placed about 3 times, the vehicles, they stopped, and to be honest, like, it did something to me and made me feel good. And I appreciate you all for that. The other thing I wanted to ask, I wanted to see if you, Mayor Oliver, had got a chance to speak with Mr. Matthews concerning the entities of the road.
Mr. Matthews and I have had some conversation, yes ma'am.
Have you all made a decision?
We are in the initial stage of our dialogue, and Martin Luther King, it's a divided street. And I do believe you're on the agenda to speak with them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so.
Is there any way that you all could show me on this map what part is the parish and what part is the city?
We would be more than happy for you to come, set up a time. Public Works still here? Okay.
I think from the middle to the right belongs to the city, and from the middle to the left belongs to the parish.
And I want to confirm it, to be honest. I just want to clarify because when I went to the parish, they said otherwise.
Okay, I spoke with Mr. Matthews, and there's something unsettled about that. So before I venture into to saying this is precisely where the line is, let's just wait on that, because it was some conversation that you cross the track and one side is inside and one side is out. Then there was a map that the police jury has that says something different. So
is there any way that we could meet on the road to discuss it, to at least show me what part is the parish and what part is the city?
I think you'll get some more clarity once you meet with the police jury. And as I said, you're more than welcome to come and look at some maps that we have.
Yes, ma'am, because honestly, I went to my first time doing everything, I went to the tax assessor's office and I spoke with Jeff Messenger. Both of them, they told me that from the end of Peters Alley to the stop sign on the right side of the road, it's the parish, and on the city side, it's from stop sign to stop sign. But when I went to the parish, to the meeting with the parish, they told me that from stop sign to the railroad track is the city, and from the railroad track to the stop sign on the other side where the student service center is, that's the parish. But that was back in November, and I was told I was going to be shown a map, and I was never shown that map.
Yes.
And he passed through my neighborhood a few times, and he never brought it.
Okay. Okay. And until that's cleared up, I'm not going to try to answer for the police jury, because they have a different.
What it is, I'm trying to see if you all could show me what part is just the city. That's what I want to make sure.
And I think once you meet with the police jury and we've had a conversation with them, then we can give you more precise information on that, Ms. Hill.
Okay. I do my other topic was about the park from Jackson to Henry Street.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that he did cover that, and I did want to thank you all for covering that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thank them all I thank everybody for tending to the fields, because my son, he does play in the city games.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hill. 1993, District E.
Ricky Allen Anderson, Bastrop, Louisiana. I'm here to talk about Resolution 22, 1993, Finance Committee and District E, not necessarily in that order. Resolution 22, 1993 begins April the 4th, 2022, and is still active as of today. What have we accomplished with this resolution? I can tell you what we accomplished. We accomplished $173,387.25. And we paid that through Mike Tubb, the Morris Parish Sheriff Department. What we also accomplished, several homicides since this ordinance, resolution took into effect. The first triple homicide took place in the month of April, days after this resolution took into effect. The whole family laying out there on Brentwood, dead. November, another triple homicide. A young man get killed, his girlfriend get shot. A drive-by robbery over drugs. A lady get killed. She's supposed to be pregnant. What are we going to do, Bastrop? In this spirit, in this pride, in this progress, I've asked this board since April to abolish Resolution 22, 1993 and open back up the Bastrop Police Department from 6 a.m. 24/7. But we be closing at 6 p.m. This was brought on by Resolution 22, 1993. I'm asking this board once again. The criminals are having fun because they know there's no officers inside the city limits of Bastrop after 6 p.m. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but have mercy on Bastrop. Have mercy on this city. Good evening.
Item G, Randy Carpenter, Parks and Recreation.
My name is Randy Carpenter. I live at 6286 Forest Green Drive. And I'm here on behalf of the Dixie baseball program at Carter Park. But most importantly, I'm here on behalf of the kids. I have been a coach in this area for 5 years, and I have coached for, this will be my 25th year. Now, I heard everybody come up earlier and talk about the things they've done in this program and the things that they've done in terms of field work and all the things and the goals they've accomplished. But I'm here for these kids more than anything. I don't get paid, and I'm not ever going to get paid for this. None of my businesses that I have or any of my work has anything to do with making money off of this. I'm here for the kids. I truly care about the kids and everything they do. Now, I'm trying to revive a baseball program that was once the pride of this city. Now, I played in Swartz, and when we came to Bastrop and Carter Park, we feared this town. We walked in there and you knew if you were going to win, you had to walk through Morehouse Parish. Now people don't even want to come to our ballparks and play.
That's right.
They can't play on those parks right now. They're unplayable. Anybody who's had any experience in baseball, care for a field, knows you don't put farm implements on a field and plow it up. You can't pat yourself on the back for plowing a field up. You have firm fields. And I talked to Mr. Wilhite and the mayor, and I asked for a meeting with Mr. Duval and Mr. Wilhite. 2 weeks has passed. I have tried to contact Mr. Wilhite 39 times, straight to voice message. I sent him a message, no answer. 2 weeks I've waited for a contact and a meeting with Mr. Duval, no meeting. Through Mr. Wilhite's own words in our meeting with the mayor, I don't know how to do a baseball field. Well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of my background. I coached for almost 25 years. I played professional baseball in the Houston Astros organization. I don't need a pat on the back for that, but I think it's pertinent to this situation. I know how to take care of a field. I asked to meet with Mr. Duval and Mr. Wilhite to show them and to talk to them how a field should be done and how a field should be cared for. We put together a board that has baseball experience and that is smart and knows and cares about this community. Last year we played on baseball fields, lines this far outside the base path. That's not somebody who's worried about the field and worried about the kids. Potholes this big in the outfield. Fields that are so bumpy if you roll the baseball down them, they might hit you in the face with that. That's not taking care of fields. If I don't know how to do something, I ask somebody. I don't have pride and say I can't do it or I'm doing the best job I can do. I ask for somebody that if you need help, ask for help. Now I've heard this, that you can't help with the fields, but I can help with the intellectual part of the field. I can show you how to do it, and I'm here to assist you. Now I've heard that earlier, we need the money. Well, just last year, the concession stand got turned over to us to handle. Now we have to purchase, yes, that's true. We have to purchase everything inside that concession stand. We have to purchase the food, the drinks, and everything that goes with it. We have to ask parents to run these during games. My wife, my wife's mother, my mother-in-law run a concession stand the entire year. That way all of my parents on my team did not have to miss their children play. She did that out of the kindness of her heart. That is giving to the community. And do you know how much money we made last year out of all of that? How much did we clear? $0. We got the same amount of money we had in there before. Now I want to help the city. I'm here to help the city, and Dixie wants to work with the city. But if I can't meet with Mr. Duval and meet with Mr. Wilhite, then how can we work together? Now, here's the thing. I've heard that we don't have a contract with Dixie, therefore, we don't really want to help. Well, I'm here to tell you this. We want to. We have community businesses that want to sponsor. They're here to sponsor. They want to help. I've got them, and I've been working hard to achieve, and my wife has been working hard, and the board members have been working hard to get these sponsors. But who wants to sponsor something that is literally falling apart and with a city that's not willing to work with the program to build it? I'll give you an example. We want to put batting cages in here. We are the only place that doesn't have batting cages. We don't have them. So let me tell you a little something. We went to D&H. He wants to help this community. He's helped this community for a long time. He's going to allow us to use his batting cages as temporary batting cages. We're going to use some of our Dixie batting, which is not very much, to purchase a net where these kids can have it. That's progress. Now we want to put batting cages. That's one of our #1 goals. We want to put batting cages. We're going to spend the money, some of our money, with approval from the city, with contracts and all of that, to put batting cages in. Now once those batting cages hit the ground, they're no longer ours. They are the city's. That right there is selfless giving. That is us wanting to work with the city. That's me and all the people that are around me wanting to work with the city. But it does no good if you want to have a ballpark that's unplayable. Kids are going to Sterlington 15 miles down the road with $5 a gallon gas because they don't have fields to play in. They are leaving. Our numbers are dwindling every year.
Mr. Carpenter, have you been keeping the time?
Start the time. You start.
Well, honestly.
Wait just a minute.
I'm here to help and have good conversation and discussion, but I can't discuss it with the wall.
Mr. Green?
Yeah, what he's saying about, I umpire in Sturgis. And also I travel with travel ball.
Yes, sir.
What you're saying is a necessity. I get what he's saying about our fields not up to par, because anywhere you go, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, majority of everybody went to the infield turf and the outfield regular, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so my thing would be, why we never consider doing it.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green, we had, it was quite a few years back,
One more thing.
we had a proposal for something to improve these ballparks. And you
Wait
didn't
just a
pass.
minute, Mr. Carpenter, let Mr. Green finish.
What he's saying about the numbers, like when I go umpire in Thursday, and I be umpiring these kids, they come right from here. When I go to Monroe, they come right from here, and it do something to me. It's all the way to Columbia, when I'm umpiring, I see kids right from here, leave here and go play, and I'm a baseball guy, so I'm here with you, so when you say that. So, but we have two leagues, if I'm not mistaken, we have Dixie, and we have Little League. So, here's my thing, why don't the two work together and both utilize the park? So if the city, just for example, I'm just talking, because I'm here with you, I love baseball. So if the city do put, if we can get turf, just for example, can it come to a point where both of the presidents from Little League and Dixie sit down and both of them utilize the park equally?
When I met with the mayor, I wanted to meet with Mr. Duval, and we wanted to be separate entities, which I believe having Dotson and having, you know, I'm here to fix the baseball program. I can't fix the parks, okay? I was elected to fix that part. And I wanted to meet with Mr. Duval because I thought what would be a great draw for this city and to bring back some pride in the city is to do something very similar to what they do in the huge cities like in California, have city championships, have these teams have good competition. And good competition is gonna breed one thing. It's gonna breed people wanting to play.
I see it throughout the summer.
One thing that Sterlington doesn't have, that's holding them back and that we still have an advantage over is we have hotels. We have hotels in this town. We need these all-star tournaments back. They're huge money makers. We have people want to give. We have a plan set in place and we're gonna do it. But I can't do it in a cow pasture. That looks like a cow pasture. Nobody disc up a cow pasture. And I was here to help. Yes, ma'am.
How much time?
I say for this point right here, I actually didn't want to go home because also I coach, I umpire, and my boys with the kids as well. So I'm trying to figure out how can we come in, because when adults are bickering and not together and not unified, the kids are suffering. So at some point we got to come together like I don't think it's, and this is not the president of the league. I think this is the president right there. That's the person you have to speak with, if I'm not mistaken. But even if so, what I'm saying is if you got Dixie League and you got Little League, two different leagues, I'm not sure that they can play together, right? You can't play against one another, right?
Well, we may not, those leagues can play games together. They may not be official. We have to have a certain amount of games in there. But the competition can be had. You know, we play games and then you have to play so many games within your leagues to be able to go to All-Stars. You know this.
Yeah, right.
But that does not stop people from utilizing the same fields and having some year-end tournament. We could bring food trucks. We could bring a whole lot to this city. And all I ask for is somebody to answer the telephone. Because 39 phone calls and no answers, I might as well be calling the wall and hollering out loud. I care about these kids.
A nice field, done right, so much revenue to the town.
Right.
I'm here to tell you because I done drove 3 hours just to umpire it, and I see it. I'm hundreds of people out there coming to see their kids play. And you know, I just got my son back from Mississippi, so you know, it's to touch yourself for me because I want him to be involved. I don't want to have to be one of the parents that leave outside of the city that I love. I decided to make up for him to go somewhere else for my son to play.
I just have one more thing in closing.
Okay.
And I think it's very important because he just came up here and he talked about murders. The problem is we're working on crime up here. One of the things I secured was 3- and 4-year-olds to be able to play in these leagues because idle hands are the devil's handiwork. And if we can get 3- and 4-year-olds back in these leagues, it'll take 4 or 5 years, but we're going to bring it back. And I'll give you a great example of what baseball does.
Mr. Carpenter.
You got to hear it because she's right there.
Mr. Carpenter.
Let me just hit it for him, man. Let me just hit it for him.
And I had a young boy. I had a young boy, a young man. We teach on my team class. We win with class, we lose with class. His mama's right there. He doesn't even play on my baseball team anymore. If you believe coaches don't make a difference in this world and baseball makes a difference. He don't play on my baseball team anymore. He does not even. His name is Aiden. And he comes to every one of my practices. And he calls me coach. He comes to my house and stays in. And you know what? She's right there. And he says to me, if I don't play on your team, coach, I don't want to play. Coaches make the difference in this world. And they'll stop crime. We got to build it back. If you want to stop crime, in the future, we got to get the sports and the music programs back in this country.
I can't take away from Reverend Duvall because he's been doing this way before my time.
Work with me.
And here I am. So that's why I said that as adults, we need to unify because at the end of the day, the kids are suffering.
This company set up a meeting, carpenter.
And I love to be there.
And I was just
I would love to be there.
Go ahead, Mr. Locke.
I'm just saying that, you know, we can stay all night going over and over, but he needs to meet those two people, the ball and the house.
Well, let's put somebody in charge of it right here. Who's gonna set the meeting up, because I'm here. I'm ready to have a meeting.
Mr. Carpenter, bring the presentation to a close.
Mayor, I can't say, if you was to set up the meeting, I would be there. I would be there for the council.
I'd welcome you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. Okay, we are on item H, liquor license, Chief Reed, Taco Bandito LLC, 2057 East Madison Avenue. Wait, let's just pause for a minute. Mr. Green. Mr. Green, are you leaving? You gonna leave? Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. It's a Class R for Taco Bandito, 2057 East Madison. And also the special liquor license for Washita chapter of Quail Forever, just one day for February 17th at 124 North Washington.
So moved.
At this time, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
I second. Properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I need to ask for a motion to expand the agenda to introduce ordinance 23-4269. We had a request by Ms. Rogers. I will entertain a motion, and this is in reference to an ordinance to amend section 5-12 of the Code of Ordinances to prohibit the keeping of horses, mules, swine, cows, goats, and live animals within the city limits. I'll entertain a motion on this request for this ordinance.
Okay, I make a motion to expand the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to expand the agenda to address ordinance 23-4268.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we,
Second. Ms. Tappy made the motion.
this is to go into special.
This is to expand. You second, Ms. Tappy. You seconding her. Okay, all right. Properly moved in second. Any questions? Discussion? Okay, Ms. Rogers.
Yes, thank you. My name's Debbie Rogers. I reside at 5509 Bonner Ferry Road in Bastrop. I'm also the president of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Planning and Zoning requested this ordinance after a discussion with the person at on East Pecan Street wanting a horse inside the city limits. The Planning and Zoning felt like that was not the best, in the best interest of the city to have horses or like kind inside the city limits. Some of the statistics that we looked at was a 1,000-pound horse, which is average for a horse. It produces about 50 pounds of manure each day, which equates to 9.1 tons a year. And with that manure, it draws flies, dust, rodents, and odors. And then flies are attracted to the manure, and one fly can produce 300 million offspring from that one pile of manure in about 60 days. So that's, in addition to the flies that are already around, here are more that's inside the city limits. Those are closed spaces, so to speak, in subdivisions, and that's just not good for the city. The ammonia that is produced goes up into the air. It pollutes the environment. It also, one of the major factors, it pollutes the ground surface water. It leaks into the ground and down into the water. And if it runs off into a lake or a stream or pond, it makes the plants, the bad plants, grow, and it kills the good organisms that are in that water. And without those good organisms, and it creates algae, then the fish die. So there's just several things about that is not good for the city. Now, on big farms and things like that, you have enough area for that. But the Planning and Zoning thought that was not a good thing that is inside the city limits. However, people who already have those will be grandfathered in. We're not requesting that those people move them or anything like that. They'll be grandfathered in so they can keep what they have.
But that was gonna be my question, because I know several years ago, we did have an ordinance about horses and the spaces that should be available for those type of animals. And I think it would be fair that we go back and rescind that. Now, if someone already has it set up, that's something we need to look at. But, I don't think it'd be fair for us to just have them to remove their animals after we gave them permission. How many years ago we did that?
Yes. No, sir, Mr. Lott. We agreed that whoever has them now, it wouldn't be fair to ask them to move them. They've had them for so many years, so I believe it's in our ordinance. I've not seen the corrected copy, but I believe it's in the ordinance that they're grandfathered in. We can't make those move.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Point well taken.
Thank you, Mayor.
And point well taken, Mr. Locke, in terms of grandfathering in. We'll fine tune this ordinance in consideration for people who have made provisions already and have gone through expenses and moving forward. So this is a request to amend the ordinance and moving forward and not going retroactive to change something that will create another outcry for us. So we will take a look at it, revisit it, and get the language. This is only for introduction, requires no vote on it. So you have a copy of it, and you have time to read over it, and we'll have it back on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I believe that concludes everything, and I could probably have fed everybody over at St. Mary where I was supposed to eat my supper of the crime meeting.
Maybe they made a plate for it.
I hope so. I haven't had supper. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion.
Properly moved And second, all in favor? Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned.